Christian Dibbern has been playing the violin for many years, but this rehearsal is something special. The Bamberger Symphony are playing Paradise and the Peri by Robert Schumann. The orchestra has something that's quite rare these days, a distinct sound of their own.
People use terms like dark, warm, sonorous, or lovely warm milk chocolate, as our principal conductor once said. They're all great descriptions and yet ultimately mean something different to everyone. It'd be great if people would just say, "I recognize the Bamberger Symphony from their sound." Then you know how they sound.
While the musicians explore Schumann's Paradise, managing director Markus Axt looks after more mundane things, financing and organization. A Bayerischer Rundfunk radio sound truck is recording the concert. Many recordings are only possible as a result of such partnerships.
The CDs are now largely marketing tools that don't actually generate any income, so it's all the more important to have a strong partner on our side.
In Bavaria, culture is held in high esteem. The orchestra's €16 million budget is mainly shouldered by the Bavarian state and the city of Bamberg. But the orchestra also has to raise around a third itself through concerts. Nevertheless, the managing director is in an enviable position compared to some. U.S. orchestras are largely dependent on private donations.
The basic financing, the musicians' salaries, is secure. That's good. And that's how it should be, I think. Because in my opinion, culture is an everyday and natural component of our lives. This is really heavy.
Past recordings are being digitized to mark the 70th anniversary of the orchestra. Mozart, Beethoven, and of course Gustav Mahler, Bamberger Symphony's stock and trade. Deutsche Grammophon is releasing an entire CD box set, but clarifying copyright issues has caused the director of operations sleepless nights.
We now have all of the rights. That wasn't always easy because the record companies didn't always hold the copyright. With radio recordings, the conductors and the soloists retain the rights. But now we have everything together and we can start pressing the CDs.
A major U.S. tour is planned for next year. The orchestra will give concerts on the U.S. East and West Coast. They're also going to perform in Carnegie Hall in New York.
The whole thing will cost around $500,000.
And how much of this budget is already covered by advance sales?
Apart from New York, everything is covered because we have agreed to fixed rates with the organizers. New York is our own concert, so we have to sell 2,500 tickets.
That would be no problem in historic Bamberg, UNESCO World Heritage Site, where 1 in 10 inhabitants have a subscription. For New York, the orchestra's managing director aims to mobilize industry sponsors. It's not completely without risk. And the Bamberger Symphony play the majority of their 100 annual concerts away from home. A photo book has just been published that records life on tour.
This lady didn't want to be photographed, so she covered her face with a bouquet. These tours are 3 or 4 years in the planning. That's the norm with big international concert venues. A lot can happen in the meantime. The exchange rate might change. Fuel can become more expensive, producing different costs. We try to cope. In a worst-case scenario, we cancel. But that really is a last resort.
After all, the musicians are already looking forward to the planned U.S. tour.
We'd rather play in New York than in the Midwest, of course. But the same rule applies. You have to play well no matter where you are, even if it's a barn. We try to keep to that.